So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. It's Sunday. It is quite a Sunday here, I can tell you that for sure. The weather took a cold snap from yesterday and today even colder, but this is really to be expected. And as such, I wanted a Campari Spritz to go along with our afternoon thing. You know, I often rave about the Select bitter cocktail and the Campari cocktail, but I thought, no, we'd go ahead and add in a splash of Fernet Branca. It kind of gives it a little bit of anise. It gives it some of that bitter taste. It's somewhat reminiscent, perhaps, of a Jägermeister, but more refined, and therefore kind of creates that fall feeling, you know, in the glass. And so it is quite remarkable. Just go with Campari, you know, make it red. A splash of Fernet, and then fill the rest up with, with the Prosecco or Champagne Secco of your choice. It's really that easy. It is just so good, though. It is really, this is the kind of thing that just hits the spot when you've just finished dinner and it's a Sunday afternoon, and it is just a wonderful way to just relax and wind down. Incidentally, Fernet Branca is also quite delicious in cola. So if you've got a cola that you want to drink, Coke, RC, whatever, you can find your own ratios, but you'll find that cocktail is also very popular here in Europe, but it is also quite refreshing and kind of a sweet / touch of bitter, a little treat that you can have, especially after dinner, or perhaps, just out at the bar when you don't want to be slamming, say, hard liquor, right? So just an idea. So that said, the dictionary.com word of the day is mistriced, which is a verb, and it means to fail to meet up with or keep an appointment with someone. And, at first glance, because of the way we use the word tryst, it just seems like maybe that was a mistake. Maybe it was just a mistaken tryst. Oh no, baby, I was here to meet you at this no-tell motel. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of a fun little twist on that. But mistriced is to just fail to keep an appointment, right? Or fail to meet up as you suggested. And that, I just think there's an awful lot of play in there for some comedy. That's all, I'll leave that to the experts to stay out of it for sure. So let's go ahead and look into our grid here. And I have actually been looking forward to this today. I went to the commissary earlier on post over at Grafenwehr and picked up a couple of items that we needed to make. We wanted to do some smash burgers, and we eat them bunless, right? So therefore the fixins are really critical, but Jerry made the best. I mean, absolutely the best little bagel bites. They're like just these little keto balls that taste like bagels and onion, and they're made out of onion, almond flour, and just various things like that, and some baking powder. Completely guilt-free, but really quite delicious. So it's like, I'm looking forward to this puzzle today, right? And that used to never be the case. On Sundays especially, they're just so big, but now why not? Let's just have some fun with it. So for Sunday, August 24th, wow. We got Mixed Company here. It's the name of this grid, and it's by Michael Lieberman. Okay, counselor. I do believe he's an attorney. I try to read up on the constructors. Let's hop into our grid, see what we got today. It's a beautiful Sunday, so let's see. Swanky, 4 letters. I'm going with posh. I guess I've seen in the past fa-fa, shishi, right? But 4 letters, fa-fa would work, but it's pretty uncommon. So corkscrews and such. Ding dong ditch. In the number 1 position, could be on top. And inner tube. Okay, well, we're going to be a little bit of a clever one today. Going to have to work for this. Going to have to work for it today, which is quite all right. Billboard chart listings could be hits. So I guess a ding-dong ditch could be an antic. I guess I never found the humor in that game, nor have I ever tipped a cow. I don't know. I mean, and what are they just sleep standing up? Because I'll tell you what, some of the cows in Switzerland and in the Netherlands, we see them a lot just laying around. You know, they're not like the hard-working, industrious, you know, models of efficiency that you see maybe in Texas or here in Germany. But I do know cows lay down, or at least they do in Switzerland and in the Netherlands. So maybe they gotta take it easy so they make better cheese. I'm not quite sure, but are they just sleeping, standing up, and you just walk up and push them over? Does the cow like wake up on its side going, what just happened? You know, I mean, I can't even imagine. So Spanish girl, how about a chica? I don't even think I ever made any prank calls. I mean, I just don't think I cared. I mean, I don't know what that's all about. Corkscrews and such. I guess we're talking about pasta. And fitting could be apt. Let me make sure I'm enunciating clearly. It can be a pain in the neck. Wow. Tonsil, maybe? I mean, I'm looking at it like going, wow. At first, I was like, did I miss something? Was it a noose? But no, I don't think so. So, skincare brand with the slogan, Face Anything. We've got an L right there. So, I'm going to go with Olay. I've never heard the ad slogan, Face Anything. And I don't really keep up with Olay products, so you'll have to forgive me on that. I'm not quite sure I know what that's all about. So, Jane Blank, longtime writer for The New Yorker, and I think that's Jane Mayer. Just watching an interview this morning, speaking to The New Yorker and writers, Susan Glasser was talking with Chris Hayes. Jazz style, looks like we got maybe bebop, maybe. Sit tight, with a B, maybe bide, maybe I'm biding my time. So, blank, Thomas More poem. Well, let me say that a little bit better then. Aaron. So, I'll try that. If Neutrogena, Bic, and Vans merged and opened a winery, they would sell... I have no idea. Open a winery. I mean, this could be Cabernet Sauvignon. Let's see. So, all right. We got here. If Hostess and Petco merged and became a medical supply company, they would sell, okay, I'm thinking stethoscopes. And the reason I'm thinking that is because I think this is an anagram. So, Hostess and Petco. Yeah, buddy. All right. Interesting. Hypotheticals could be ifs. So, do I have a Cabernet Sauvignon in Neutrogena, Bic, and Vans? CABERNET. Yeah. I think we've got ourselves an anagram today. So, Sauvignon. All right. Let's hope I didn't misspell anything. It looks right on the surface here. Cheering loudly would be a roar. And bluffer's declaration. I raise. Or a very confident player. Suggestion casually, maybe, hey, I got a rec for you. I don't know if I would ever say that. Bitter Italian digestive. Of course. Fernet Branca. That's nice. Sometimes this gets so spooky to me, I don't even know what to make of it. Oh, man. Like a wet signature could be in pen. It seems like I would say in ink. Aer lingus. And be furious. Should we be seething? See red. Okay. I was about to say, maybe I'm wrong about one of these things. Okay, see red. Author, Roald Dahl. I mean, really, there's some spooky crap going on these days. That's pretty specific, if you ask me. Fernet Branca. Magician's flourishes. How about Tutters and tapped as a cigarette, perhaps ashed. Tickle could be to delight. So here we go. I mean, we're making along pretty good time here. Let's see. Hazard for the unwary. Could be a pitfall. Could very well be a pitfall for sure. Educational advertisement for short. Public service announcement with guitars. Ding, ding, ding. The Clash, sorry. Close of business. So maybe ink? Maybe. Hot mess could be a snafu. That's situation normal, all fouled up. You dirty mindy, you. All fouled up. I'm just kidding. I'm pretty sure this is what it is. When Ophelia dies in Hamlet would be Act 4. And small fry. Oh, what do you think? We got a tater tot here? When I started eating just a ketovore, if you will, like just zero carbs, I chopped up some raw shrimp one time and I mixed them in with an egg white, a little bit of egg white, and then I put them on a griddle. And they came out, they tasted just like friggin' tater tots. And so when you laid a slice of American cheese over them, which I know it's not really a cheese, but when you lay a slice of that over and you put them in a little boat, it's like having cheesy tots from Sonic without the guilt. So we got Eli Lilly and Company, one of 200 plus stations for NBC as an example, and I'm assuming affiliate. Affiliate. To get this stuff straight, dude. Today is not the day to be fat fingering something in the grid, and we don't want to go find it. 2015 Kendrick Lamar anthem that won 2 Grammys. Sorry, I don't know. Farm related prefix. So maybe Agra. Is this all right? Spanish province, west-southwest of Bilbao. Maybe Leon? I'm looking on the map inside my brain feverishly. Can't seem to get past the inset. Okay, mean. Maybe intend. Gotta conjugate that verb. So cursor icon for clickable links may be a hand. And let's check that. So cheer for, root on, ace the test, get an A. Yeah, why not, right? Precursor to a clarifying remark. I mean, it's like sitting at the breakfast table. I really can't help but feel that you ruined my life in every single way. I mean that, I forgot to get the salt and pepper up. Clarifying remark. Fancy shopping mall. Gonna go with a galleria. Maybe probably 2 L's in here. Just trying to remember how it was spelled in Dallas. The Dallas Galleria. Not far from the Arboretum. Sally Mae, student loan program, Playboy's founder in brief, the Hef man, the Hef. Working on one's own well-being, I'm assuming self self-care or self-help. I don't know. Celebrations for seniors. No idea. Purchases that come with metal plates. No idea. King in a 1974 novelty hit. And yes, that was, I think that was Steve Martin that did King Tut. Sleeps in his pajamas, King Tut, something like that. Born in Arizona, moved to Babylonia, had a condo made of stone, King Tut. I think that was the words. Some of them. Probably not even in that order. Bags with black and green varieties. This is a clever one too. I think we're talking about teas. That's right, China. I want all the tea. Craving could be an urge, a yen, a hankering. Purchases that come with metal plates. Again, well, we got a tea now. I have no idea what that could possibly be, but I think we got self-care here. So, org for Nelly Corda and Lydia Ko, and that would be the LPGA. I do like watching them play. That's the only golf I want to watch on TV is LPGA. I like the skorts. You know, the fashion athleisure portmanteau. Skort. Purchases that come with metal plates. Still. Metal plates. What would you buy that would come with a metal plate? I mean, just no idea yet, which I like. This is good. Celebration for seniors. Okay. I'm assuming that we're not talking about centenary or something. So we're talking maybe seniors in college or high school. So I'm going to try to put class in here. I don't know. Maybe class out. I don't even know. I left for college when I was 15. I don't know what it's like to be a senior. No idea. Injudicious. Perhaps we are being rash. Don't be rash. I mean, think about that before you do it. Okay, so purchases that come with metal plates. Can we talk about tap shoes? That would be kind of fun. If Epson and Chase merged and became an electronics accessory company, they would sell phone cases. I find it being pretty good at picking an anagram out has been very helpful for me in the Guardian Cryptic. There's a lot of it there, but then you got to figure out how they're letting you know it's going to be an anagram, and that's a whole other story. Baker versus blank, landmark voting rights case. If I could remember. Let's breathe. Okay, from the top. How about again? And again, and again, until you knuckleheads get it right. From the top. Again. Movie princess who wields a blaster pistol. And I think we're talking about Leia. So go up could be to rise. And atomic number of neodymium would be 60. And Pib extra. I think he got tired of being called Mr. You know, Pepper gets all the medical school glory. I'm just going to be my last name plus extra. Pib extra. Yeah, that's the backstory I'm giving it. Ruling Romanovs. And it would be the Tsars. And buckwheat for 1. I think we have ourselves a rascal for, as in Little Rascals. He used to have the signature line, it's Otay. West Coast Airport Code. And you, especially young folks, would not even know that. And I can tell you also, I wouldn't even know that, really, if it had not just been on in Syndicate for years and years. I mean, gosh, I think it was off. They stopped making these things when my grandmother was born. I mean, close to it. It's just it was such an old show, but it was very entertaining. And if Shotzi wasn't listening to a book, I'd ask her if seniors have class day. But it looks like it just says class day. Celebration for seniors. I got a class and a blank Y. I'm just wondering if it's class day. I mean, I don't know.
I guess.
We'll find that out.
We had senior skip day.
Senior skip day.
We weren't supposed to, but we did.
Maybe I shouldn't have just started school. Maybe I should have stuck around a couple extra years. And
I don't think they'd be worth it just for skip day.
just for skip day, probably not. I skipped a lot of days as it was, so it didn't really bother me. I got in a lot of those days. Look, I mean, I'm not giving anybody bad advice. I'm simply saying that I was incredibly bored in school. It was just deathless droning on and on and on in so many ways of stuff that was just common sense or that you should have easily been able to pick up on in the news. But then again, how many kids watch the news? I know I was a super dork. I get it. Winter Olympics setting in 1972. That's when I was established. 1998, 2018, and 2022. And I guess we're talking about Asia. Remember them trying to get some snow manufactured there, as a matter of fact. We got to get some snow for these ski runs. Government agency whose busiest days usually precede major holidays. I guess it would be the TSA. It is really a rather thankless job, I think they have. So let's breathe. I'm not quite sure. Let's breathe. Oh, let's breathe. Got it. There's no apostrophe there. I should have seen that immediately. Maybe airs out. And sea urchin on a sushi menu would be uni. And what do we got here? If Ford and Walgreens merged and became a landscaping company, they would sell... I think we've got gardens, which means I need to remember Baker v. Carr for voting rights legislation, voting rights jurisprudence. And aha, got it. Okay, maybe. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Come on, get it into character here now. So a gent from Kent would be a Brit. And so lend is money would be to spot. And we have an October birthstone of an opal. All right, so be on the hunt. How about we're on the prowl? We're on the prowl. That's right. Fratty type could be a bro. Golden arrow shooting deity would be Eros. So I guess we're talking about, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and decipher each anagram because that would take a bit more time than we would need. We could just solve around it. But I think we got flower gardens, and that's pretty clever too. A Nobilis Ferrante, and I think that's Elena. I don't remember. It's a pseudonym, and I think she's Italian, but I am not remembering how her name goes. So some gymnastics moves would be maybe flips. If I were doing gymnastics, they'd be flops. But, you know, we try. Like a bicycle or a horse. German article. Ooh, okay. Eine kleine Nachtmusik, bitte. So, a list of mistakes. Maybe errata? Try it. And analyze grammatically would be to have parsed. And hip, 3 letters in a name with a D. How about we go with a mod? Maybe we'll mod that out. The Guardians on sports tickers. I think this is Cleveland. And sends off. If GMC, PetSmart, and Lenovo merged and became an auto parts company, they would sell I think this might be glove compartments. So let's see. Compartments. And it's not that I'm clairvoyant. It's that I'm always looking for a pattern. And when you throw GMC in there, and then I'm looking at the rest of everything that's up there, and my brain's kind of processing it, I'm just thinking, okay, glove compartments would fit. And I had the P and the R and the ENTS, and that's really, I think, that could be it. So we'll see. University of Memphis athlete. Tigers, I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming maybe narrow inlet would be a Rhea. Sends off could be males. So what do we've got here? Verdi opera that becomes the name of a board game when an H is inserted. And so I think we're talking about Othello. But what's wrong with just putting it out there, you know, the evil one in Iago, you know, I mean, just kind of play on it, you know, it'd be, why not, right? So janitorial implement, maybe a mop. And if Merck, Mars, and AIG merged and became an art supplies company, they would sell maybe magic markers. So Love and Death, actress Olsen. Is it an E or an O? I don't know. Scorch. Pelt could be a skin. Spectacle could be a scene. Don't make a spectacle. It's always a spectacle of yourself. Otherwise, it's don't make a scene. Hit 1996 movie billed as a homespun murder story. And again, I gotta say thank you to Sue and the others who convinced me that it was important to see Fargo. Andy Wong was on that bandwagon. Quite a few of you were like, you should see Fargo. And then when I did, I was like, why hadn't I seen this before? But I literally could not handle the slow whatever back in 94 or whenever I went to go see it at the movie. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. It was wrong. It was just bad for me. So I believe at 115 across we had Scorch, that would be Singe. So I guess this gives us element of many signs, so maybe it'd be neon. So Olsen, so Elizabeth Olsen. I had such a hard time remembering the E's and the O's on that name for some reason. But I forgot how to spell parallel the other day too. In front of Neil, in the Guardian Cryptic. But then again, I think, no, I would forget how to spell it right now. I mean, that's just one of those words that I have a mental block on. I don't know what it is, I just can't spell it. Puzzled, bemused. And let's see here. So, like a bicycle or a horse could be rideable. I don't know. I've been on some horses that weren't that rideable, but that was my job on those horses, to make them rideable. So yeah, they call it gentling these days. You got to gentle the horse. You're gentling horses, just making them gentle. Well, we called it breaking horses when I was a youngin' coming up. And I'm going to tell you something. It's the same process. You can call it what you want. It's still an all-out fist fight. I mean, it's just what the British would call a Barney. Oh, here comes trouble, Barney Rubble, right? Yeah, clumsy me. Oh, what we got down here? Io Edebury's character on the bear, and that would be Sid, I think. I mean, I'm only a ginormous fan of the show. So fair blank copyright doctrine would be fair use. If it wasn't for fair use, there'd be a lot of YouTube channels in trouble. Let me tell you. If they couldn't get that 0.9 second, clip in of somebody in some movie saying something, it would be bad. And I'm with them. I just don't know how to do it. Otherwise, I might have a few of those things here and there myself, but I'm like, I don't want to take a chance. So, clumsy me could be, oopsie. There we go. Got it. Very nice. And Santa Claus. You must believe to receive. Bend in a pipe would be an L. Well, my eyes just shot some of my drink right out at me. So, very nice. Kind of hard to present to be a gentleman and have that happen. Okay, so R in a car could be reverse. Oh, that rhymes too. That's lovely. Very well done, counselor. Old-fashioned invitation, enclosure in brief. Is it really old-fashioned to send a self-addressed stamped envelope? Or is it just kind? Or do we all just RSVP? Is mon réponse s'il vous plaît okay in a text message? I don't know. Most Vermeer works would be oils. And time shares, maybe overlaps. That's clever. I've never seen it done that way before. I like that. And like a column starting a row. Like a column starting a row. Perhaps. Well, I guess it could be libelous. Libelous. Very nice. And cool places to live. Oh, that's good. I think I might include that as, man, what a cool place to live with exclamation mark. Actress Sky. Iona, I'm trying to remember. Let's see what this gives us. Oh my gosh. All right. Singer Olivia Rodrigo. Awards partially bestowed by the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences. Okay. Nobels. Got it. Was not aware of that. Probably because I've never been subject to discussions around a Nobel Prize. What a fixer-upper might become pessimistically. I'm assuming we're going for a money pit here. And that may be the case. I might know something about that, yes. Take it a little too far. Snack with a mega stuff variety. We can't just get away from these Oreos, can we? They have become the new Oleo. There was a time back in the 90s when you're doing the crossword puzzle, it was literally Oleos and everything, in both variations, right? Oleo, Olio, so it didn't matter if you were talking about, a hodgepodge, or, putting Italian oil or Portuguese oil or whatever. Yeah, it was just there. Now we got Oreos. I think yesterday we had a cow of some sort, or maybe it was Friday, we had a cow that was black and had a white band around it. It was an Oreo cow. I'm still wondering. I didn't look it up if that's an actual breed or if that's just a descriptive, so I don't know. South American tuber. Nope. I don't know. If the IBM, then okay, we'll get to that in a second. So relieved of, maybe rid of. And supplementary data and suggestions for further reading, maybe. How about endnotes? And let's see. So if IBM, Dannon, and Acer merged and started a bakery, they would sell cinnamon bread. Cinnamon bread. All right. Rival of the Dodgers and Rockies, and formerly probably the D-backs. And Great Lakes natives, we're going with Erie's. Provides assistance, maybe aids, and then one's making margin calls for short. How about editors? That's another clever one, counselor. You've got this thing riddled with some very clever clue answer combinations. Well done. Your prudence, not your jurisprudence, but your prudence here is quite on display. Well done. Las Vegas's WNBA team would be the Aces, and Highway to Hell band. This was just on in my car a little while ago, coming up just randomly. Some Train Depot Figures. Oh, finally, instead of ETAs, we have estimated times of departure. That's wonderful to see. Though I have often thought to myself, wouldn't it be more correct to be ETSD? Maybe a small s with the, estimated times departure, right? I don't know. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that boggles my mind. Leaves me bemused, sometimes resigned. 1986 rock autobiography, Tina. I'll never forget seeing her at the Starplex in Dallas. Oh, I don't know, circa 1988. Man, it was a good show. Complained under one's breath. Maybe muttered. And big name in the ice cream aisle. Gonna go with Ben there. Okay, looking good. Kimono sash would be an Obi. Feeling good about it. Debater skill and a once college major of mine. Rhetoric. Beautiful. Blank Meninas. Velasquez masterpiece. I think that's Las Meninas. I think. Key near function. Maybe control. French filmmaker Jacques Tati. And response to a routine delivery. Okay, I got it. Very good. And if Post and Schick merged and became a kitchenware company, they would sell chopsticks. Liking it. Russian no would mean niet. Bajolostot, please, no. Fruit drinks. How about AIDS? And I think we're here now, so made sense, maybe added up, and I guess our South American tuber could be an oka. I don't know, gotta look that up today too then. So I don't know, how do we do, Bob? Again, this was a really brilliantly constructed grid. Outstanding in every way. Some things felt a little odd, but that's because I get very set in my ways, and I'm also exposed to very little English where I live. The English that I mostly hear outside of work is in my own head, or if I'm talking to myself or to Shotzi. So sometimes I miss out on ways, new rhythmic ways that we're speaking, how normal inflections change, how word order changes up. Like yesterday we had, my job here is done, whereas I'd always been used to hearing my work is done here, kind of a thing. And so, but this was really a great piece. I'm not familiar with the oka. I've seen it, I've solved with it before, but I don't know anything about it really. But there were quite a few things here that I need to make sure that I figure out, that I understand, at least to the point, like for example, Elizabeth Olsen. Quite a few. I'm gonna have to go right back through this thing and make sure that I'm understanding exactly the things that are, usually leaving me out a bit. It was nice to see Io Edebiri's character from The Bear show up in here. She is such a breath of energy and sunshine in that show. And, I got to tell you, when it comes to The Bear, it is just downright difficult for me and Shotzi on two different levels. And for her, it's such a chaotic arrangement that it can just be very unsettling. And for me, it's also a chaotic situation, be very unsettling, but I look at it more as like this is therapy, because we live in a very ordered manner. You could probably do surgery on any surface of this flat right now, and you'd be pretty okay, right? Not to come up with any post-op infections. And we're pretty tidy people. So then you see stuff just going chaotically haywire, and they're screaming and yelling, and 18 people are yelling over each other at the same time. It can be a little... But I just try to... and take it as therapy, since I'm not going to expose myself to that crap any other way, right? But on the whole, this is a wonderful grid, and it's one of these grids that... one of these days I'm going to take a shot at a Sunday grid. I don't know why not, but it just seems like I should probably stick with those Fridays and Saturdays for the time being. So with that said, beautiful job, Counselor Michael Lieberman. Gorgeous construction all the way around. Very, very impressive, and so very well done. We'll bring down our Bannière d'adieu. If you're still with us, and I hope you are, if you could hit the like button, that would do so much for the algorithm, and that would help us find more people like you, which is what we want. We don't want to grow crazy with, trollers or, whatever. We want people that are sincere and intellectually inspired, right? And people that are like to learn, make a habit of lifelong learning, and like to share and be generous with each other and leave nice comments for each other and so on and so forth. And that's kind of the whole point. And so to build and to grow this channel to what I think it deserves to be, just because of the community that has happened here, if you could just make a habit of liking it, I would so appreciate that. If you have not subscribed yet, it's a totally free thing to do, and I'd love to have you on, in a more committed role, right? So I've got this finger here. I got one here that's got ring on it already, but I've got another one. We can make that commitment. Let me know. Until we see you again, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss, Servus, Grüß Gott, Ciao, Cin-Cin. Be well out there. And just remember, as always, right, like I have to remind myself on a daily basis, it's a matter of always be nice to strangers, right? And remember that the thicker the foreign accent, the braver the soul you're talking to. I will see you tomorrow for the Guardian Cryptic and the New York Times Monday. Cheers.